Pay attention to this broadcast. This will contain information that you need to know. U.S. military have recently found out via a classified source that the combined syndicates have placed several missile silos along the east coast of Nicaragua, and they seem to be aimed at several major cities inside the United States. Right now, it is not known if the combined syndicates are planning on carrying out an attack on the United States, but you should take extra precaution at this time. If you are indoors, stay indoors. If you are outdoors, get inside a shelter now. If you are driving, pull over at the nearest building and get inside, unless your destination is 10 minutes or less away. This message will repeat. Pay attention to this broadcast. This will contain information that you need to know. U.S. military have recently found out via a classified source that the combined syndicates have placed several missile silos along the east coast of Nicaragua, and they...
Our time to act is now. The four fractured states have outstayed their welcome, and tensions in the mainland have worsened because of it. It is now the time for reunification, for peace. We must reunify the 50 states under one banner, instead of 5. We will show the world that the combined syndicates is not a nation to be reckoned with. We have set up several nuclear missile silos in Nicaragua, and they are aimed at various cities in the 4 different states. The targets of these missiles are aimed at cities and military bases that contain key resources that benefit the sides. That way, when the targets are hit, reunification will not take very long, as the main suppliers for military resources are destroyed. We are expecting to launch the missiles in 3 days. God bless the one true nation.
Okay, I'm near the military base in Grenada.
Great, now find a way to disarm the missiles. They don't seem to be conducting tests, but they might be actually preparing for war.
Absolutely. I'm almost there right now. Okay, I'm here. But there's already a crowd in there.
Find somewhere to stay put and wait for them to depart. We don't want them to know.
Todos los miembros de esta base militar repórtense al centro de control inmediatamente. La Unión Combinada está a punto de ejecutar el proceso de reunificación.
This is a national emergency. The North American Aerospace Defense Command detected the launch of several nuclear missiles at the following cities: Miami-Dade, Liberty D.C, New Orleans, Atlanta. These missiles were believed to have been launched by the other American states. As such, we plan retaliatory strikes against the United States, combined syndicates, and the Pacific states. If these places want reunification, then we will show them that attacking our nation was a mistake, and that we are not a nation to reckon with. If you wish to enroll in the Army of the American Union State, sign-ups will be available 14 days after the nuclear strikes.
This message was issued by the President of New England. This is not a test. Further instructions will follow the tone. This message was issued by the President of New England. The following alert was sent out by government authorities, as well as the North American Aerospace Defense Command. This is an attack warning. Pay attention to your device. Several ballistic missiles have been sent to various cities in the breakaway American nation. Fortunately, the 2 ballistic missiles aimed at Buffalo and Boston have been deflected. War has returned to the continent as a result of this, with several of the breakaway states now beginning to fight for power over the United States. New England does not wish to partake in this, and the President would much rather make a role in the defensive side. Several Army men have surrounded the borders of the nation, and are preparing for if an attack were to unfold in our nation. New England will not be the aggressor. Our nation will try to remain neutral at all times, unless an attack were to be carried out directly at us. This does not mean you should not be prepared for one. At this time, you should prepare a shelter, preferably underground, with the necessary supplies that will last you for 14 days at the most, along with blankets, and a hand crank or battery-powered radio. Most importantly, remain calm. Panicking will only make the situation worse than it already is. Thank you for your participation.
This message has been requested by Her Majesty's government. Pay attention to this broadcast. Just a few days ago, the breakaway American states have declared war on each other and ended peace on the continent. Because of this ongoing situation, the British government, as well as the Entente members, are planning to aid the United States militarily. Military personnel are being placed on the border of the combined syndicates. Updates will be provided as soon as we can get them. Thank you for your cooperation.
Ce message a été demandé par le gouvernement de Sa Majesté. Faites attention à cette alerte. Il y a quelques jours à peine, les États séparatistes des États-Unis se sont déclarés la guerre et ont mis fin à la paix sur le continent. En raison de la situation actuelle, le gouvernement britannique et les membres de l'entente prévoient d'aider militairement les États-Unis. Les soldats sont placés à la frontière des syndicats combinés. Des mises à jour seront fournies dès que nous pourrons les obtenir. Merci pour votre attention.
You're listening to the American War Details channel, your source for information about the ongoing war in our country. Do not turn to another channel, as this channel is providing the most reliable information we can find. Remember that this source fact-checks any information we get before it is broadcasted, so misinformation about this situation cannot be broadcasted to the public. The United States military is beginning to make progress inside the combined syndicates. The most notable city being Cincinnati, Ohio, the neighboring city bordering Boone County, and Kenton County in northern Kentucky. Other cities reclaimed by the United States include, but are not limited to, Huntington, West Virginia, Omaha, Nebraska and Owensboro, Kentucky, With the help of the Entente and Canada, the United States could see more victories in the future, especially in the Union State and Pacific states. However, it is also likely that those states, along with the combined syndicates, will get military support from their allies as well, so we should be prepared for a war with the French Commune and Union of Britain.
Diese Nachricht wurde in Bezug auf die aktuelle Situation in Nordamerika herausgegeben. Wie viele Leute wissen, gibt es einen großen Krieg zwischen den 5 verschiedenen amerikanischen Staaten. Da sich die Entente in diesen Krieg einmischt, werden wir dasselbe tun. Unser Militär wird helfen, der amerikanische Unionsstaat. Zusammen mit der Entsendung unserer Militärhilfe an den Staat der Amerikanischen Union werden wir unsere Verbündeten dazu auffordern, dasselbe zu tun. Polen, das Vereinigte Baltische Herzogtum, Litauen, Weißrussland und die Ukraine werden ebenfalls helfen. Danke für Ihre Teilnahme. Diese Nachricht wurde in Bezug auf die aktuelle Situation in Nordamerika herausgegeben. Wie viele
This message was sent out by the British Federal Congress, as well as the Chairman of the Union of Britain. The United States has been making progress in the combined syndicates, and multiple cities have reportedly surrendered to the United States in the last couple of weeks, especially since the Entente had been sending their militaries to the United States. In an effort of retaliation, the Third International members will be sending their militaries to the combined syndicates, to ensure that democracy does not take the American homeland again. For any civilians willing to participate, sign-ups will be available later today. If we all work together, we can ensure that syndicalism will thrive stronger than before. Thank you for your participation. Glory to the Union of Britain.
The following message is an update to the ongoing war. Just a few minutes ago, suppliers sent by the Third International and Middle Europa were spotted going to the combined syndicates and the Union State, and their militaries were spotted on the terrain of those nations as well. This seems to be in retaliation of the Entente assisting the United States. All residents of the United States should gather any necessary supplies, and limit travel outdoors as much as possible. The United States will take any measure to ensure that this war does not occur anywhere outside of the U.S. Stay tuned for any updates.
update on the current war has been issued by the Pacific States government. Ever since the Third International and Middle Europa had sent their troops to the east, the Pacific States has managed to gain substantial amounts of territory in the western USA. This is because most of the American military has shifted their focus to the combined syndicates and Union State, and military presence in the West has been limited, which has made an advantage for us. We've managed to reclaim lost territory, and occupied U.S. territory as well. All residents should remain in their shelters at this moment, since it isn't known whether or not the U.S. will shift their focus to us at the moment, though they very likely will.
In Mittelafrika hat sich in den letzten Tagen der Separatismus ausgebreitet. Gerade heute haben mehrere Nationen rebelliert und sich von der Nation getrennt, insbesondere auf der westlichen Seite. Um sicherzustellen, dass die Nation nicht verloren geht, wird Deutschland seine Truppen nach Mittelafrika umleiten, um sicherzustellen, dass zukünftige Revolten verhindert und die Nation wiederhergestellt wird. Alle Bewohner des östlichen Mittelafrikas suchen sofort einen unterirdischen Unterschlupf. Militärpersonal wird sie zu einem Unterschlupf führen, wenn keiner verfügbar ist.
Separatism has been rising in Middle Africa in the past few days. Just today, several nations have revolted and seceded from the nation, specifically in the western side. To ensure that the nation is not lost, Germany will be redirecting their troops to Middle Africa to ensure that future revolts are prevented and the nation is restored. All residents of Eastern Middle Africa, seek an underground shelter immediately. Military personnel will direct you to a shelter if one is not available.
Citizens of the American Union State, we have unfortunate news. Ever since the German military forces have left the nation, most of our cities have been lost. This, unfortunately, includes Liberty D.C. The military and government of this nation has collapsed.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government, as well as the U.S. Department of Defense. Just recently, several British carriers were seen approaching the United States East Coast, with the intention of sending invasion forces into the homeland. So far, most forces have entered the United States through Chesapeake Bay, with the District of Columbia as its main target. Right now, all citizens in or around the United States Capitol should evacuate the area immediately. Gather all necessary supplies with you, such as food, water, clothing, medical supplies, and a battery-powered radio for your stay. Do not use highways for travel. They will be reserved for military use. Stay tuned for any updates on this ongoing situation.
Okay, we're approaching D.C.
Since a good amount of the military is here, I don't think we'll lose this. At least I hope not.
Wait, I think I can see...
The combined syndicate has fallen. All military forces from the United States, along with British troops from the District of Columbia, will be retracted. This message will repeat indefinitely. We thank all citizens who are watching for being citizens of this nation. The combined syndicate has fallen. All military forces from the United States, along with British troops from the District of Columbia, will be retracted. This message will repeat indefinitely. We thank all citizens.
National Alert Termination. This is an all-clear message. The 3 breakaway states are no longer a threat to the nation, and all citizens may now exit their shelters. Thank you for your participation during this crisis. Normal programming will be resumed shortly.